Thanks to a generous grant from the Herbert H. and Grace A. Dow Foundation, all donations to Feathers and Fedoras will be matched up to $50,000. Donate online at dnmm.org/donate or text DNMM to 56651 to give today.
Welcome to our 5th annual Feathers and Fedoras Gala. I'm Kelly Palong, Executive Director of Disability Network of Mid-Michigan. On behalf of our Board of Directors, staff, and those we support, I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. Well, things sure look a lot different than last year. Last year, we gathered at the Great Hall for a wonderful evening of dining, dancing, and gaming. The energy in the room was contagious. You could hear laughter and cheers from the casino tables. You could see smiles from those on the dance floor. You could hear the fabulous sounds of the Motor City Beats Jazz Band and shouts of excitement following successful auction bids. We had so much fun being with all of you. And while COVID concerns have forced us to gather virtually, we're still looking forward to a great evening celebrating our collective efforts to make our communities accessible and inclusive for everyone. Before we go on, I would invite you to think back on this past year. How did COVID change your life? Do you have an underlying health condition that made it necessary for you to remain socially isolated from other people? Did you struggle to get access to goods and services? Did you have to learn new skills, such as new forms of technology, to communicate with family and friends or to help your children with school? Was your job in jeopardy, or did you have to find new and creative ways to do your job and still stay safe? Did you struggle with feeling lonely or isolated? Were you frustrated by not having the freedom to come and go as easily in the past? Did you struggle to remain hopeful about your future? Now consider that most of those situations will be or may have already proven to be temporary in your life. For the majority of people, life will eventually go back to the way it was. But what if it didn't? What if the struggles you experienced during the pandemic became the roadmap for how your life would be for the foreseeable future? Many of the things that most people experience during the pandemic are things that people with disabilities experience on a regular basis. Health conditions that limit their ability to enjoy their communities as freely as they would like. Feelings of sadness or isolation due to having to spend most of their time at home because they don't have a safe or easy way to go out. Struggles to learn new skills that could help them become employable or even considered to be viable candidates for a job. Limited transportation or support so they can access goods and services. As you listen to our stories tonight, please reflect on the role Disability Network plays in the lives of people with disabilities. We assist people with disabilities to learn employment and independent living skills. We connect people with disabilities with their peers to reduce isolation and loneliness. We provide assistance and resources for navigating the community. We help people live lives of their choosing. That is why we're so pleased you're joining us tonight. Your support for Disability Network's mission and the people we serve has never been more important and more appreciated. Creating greater access and inclusion takes a community, and that is the spirit of community that you all embody so well, and I thank you for that. And now, I'm pleased to welcome this year's Feathers and Fedoras honorary chairs, Shauna and Paul Barbeau.
Thank you, Kelly, and thank each of you for joining us tonight. It is our pleasure to serve as the honorary chairs for the 5th annual Feathers and Fedoras celebration. And while I would prefer to be welcoming you in person, sharing a delicious meal, experiencing the sights and sounds of the Roaring '20s Gala that we all know and love, COVID has forced us to gather virtually.
And while this year's event may be different, our reason for gathering has not changed. And that reason is supporting Disability Network of Mid-Michigan and their important mission of promoting independence for all people with disabilities.
Tonight, we're going to hear about each of the core services Disability Network provides, from information and referral to independent living skills building, from peer support to advocacy. We're also going to be hearing from the people that directly benefit from these services. Stories of hope, perseverance, and achievement. I think we all agree these are the kinds of stories we could all use more of these days.
And after the stories are told, we'll change it up a bit with some fun activities like the live and silent auctions and the virtual casino. So sit back, enjoy, and together we'll celebrate access, inclusion, independence, and community.
At Disability Network of Mid-Michigan, the Information Referral Department is the first contact for people seeking assistance. As I&R specialists, our task is often helping people who don't know where to go or assisting people in accessing a community support.
2 years ago, I heard about Disability Network. I believe at the time the lady was Gail that was working there, and she helped me fill out my medical, like all of my information for medical. She was able to help me understand the questions, and then May 19th of this year, we got flooded along with many other people. I reached out to Jamie. She was able to help me do so much and I lost all of my paperwork, I lost my computer, I lost all my clothes. You name it, I lost it. The important thing was Jamie was there. One day she spent probably 3 hours on the phone with me, helping me get the application because I lost my birth certificate and my medical, just a lot of important papers. And I'll tell you, if it wasn't for her, I probably would still be scrambling around trying to figure it all out. Bottom line, she was a godsend, and it was priceless. It was priceless help.
1 in 5 people have a disability, and 1 in 3 families are directly impacted by disability. Information and referral services help individuals access the community resources they need in order to live as independently as they choose.
So there isn't any other place that I can even think of out there that would help, that would have the knowledge and the resources of where to direct a person, where to go, what to do. Disability Network, let them help you.
Did you know that 70% of people with disabilities are not born with that disability? Many disabilities develop over time as a part of the natural aging process or may be due to an accident or illness.
By donating tonight, you are assuring Disability Network has the staff capacity to assist you or your loved one. You are assuring that they will have the information they need and access to resources when they need them most.
Skill development is important for everyone, but it's even more important for youth with disabilities. Youth with disabilities have a higher incidence of becoming high school dropouts, which leads to higher rates of unemployment. That leads to higher rates of poverty and lower rates of contributing to the community. We work one-on-one to help students develop soft skills, independent living skills, and pre-employment skills.
I like working with Miss Nora and going into the apartment, especially about getting a job and all other kinds of job skills.
Just have social activities planned and things to do with their peers. And so we really appreciate it for that, as well as the continued growth towards having a job in the community, because he definitely wants to be a contributing member of society.
I wanted to be a construction worker someday, so I can build a whole lot of stuff.
I definitely have seen some improvement in Jimmy's level of independence. He just is always very helpful around the house, and his attitude is always happy to help, Mom. What else can I do?
That's my attitude.
That is, buddy. That's a good attitude.
That's just what I said, is happy to help.
Happy to help. And he also very much enjoyed going to the apartment during the school year.
Whenever we got in there, we had to wash up our hands, and then we had to write down some questions about how you feel, and lots more, like get the dishwasher loaded and unloaded, making the bed, taking virtual tours, then going into grocery shopping. When we went grocery shopping, we get to buy any items that we all like to share. I remembered what we made: cupcakes. and we found them in the ingredients, then mix them up together and bake them in the oven, and then they were done.
He looks forward to the summer program every day when he would independently get on the laptop and get signed in and ready to go for the class. He definitely looked forward to it. He liked being able to connect with the other students and the instructors in the summer.
And I do like spending time with other friends. I can enjoy the movies with my friends anytime I want.
And he would always be very excited after the summer program events, and he would just love to come and tell me everything that they did that day. He really enjoyed a bowling event that he did with them, and it was just great to be out with his peers doing a fun activity like that. So definitely enjoy the social connections he's making.
So this summer, there's a lot of different activities to get the students interacting with each other and socializing and making friends and going on job tours to learn different possibilities and different skills to get a job, different things to be expected in interviews and stuff like that.
Job tours, different events and that. They take you to, like one we got to go to this flower shop and learn how they do different flowers, stuff from activities that I've been in, and it's been pretty helpful, and I like them. From this, it gives me that confidence to do my best in everything.
I'm a lot more social now than I ever have been.
It keeps you healthy and active.
It's really cool throughout the summer to watch the students grow and gain self-confidence and self-esteem and make friends.
It's a good opportunity to meet a lot of new people, and it can help you in the future, say for when you have a family of your own or just really good friends, and you can take them out there and show them what you did.
It's really fun. It's like a family going together, going to the job tours, going to the farms, going to the camp and work, and going to the hangouts, going to the picnics and loons games, and it's really fun. It's like a big family. I love it.
They're having an active, fun summer. Instead of sitting at home, they're out doing things, they're learning. I could see big differences from the beginning of the summer towards the end of the summer of the students just being more themselves and more comfortable talking to new people.
We're just very thankful that there are people who are willing to support this program, because it does mean a lot. It really means a lot to Jimmy.
At Disability Network, we know that early intervention, community-based supports, and mentoring can increase the chances of youth with disabilities to successfully transition into adulthood, prepared for post-secondary training, employment, and independent living.
I struggled with social anxiety for so long, for many, many years, and a lot of things have helped me, and I've grown a lot. I feel a lot better on expressing my own self and not being as sheltered or as introverted as I was. I have a lot more friends now. I've been trying to make more friends. I can actually order food by myself and whatnot. So it's it's helped me a lot. For my specific career, I want to be in the horror business. I want to do prop making. I want to do special effects makeup, mostly the makeup, but prop making is really fun too. I'm just naturally a very artistic, creative person. Ever since I was a kid, I was obsessed with fashion, makeup, horror movies. I really like stuff like that. I've started actually doing special effects makeup back in middle school, and I've been just keep on practicing doing that. I recently got my first actual like kit type of thing for my birthday. That was really cool. So hopefully this year, I turned 18 this year, so hopefully I can start working at any annual haunted houses this year around Halloween, so I can kind of apply for the kind of volunteering for the makeup, get more skills and tips and stuff. I talked about what to kind of look for in a job and to kind of what to like prepare for kind of like interviews and stuff, just to genuinely prepare for kind of more of a professional environment. I think it was very helpful because I tend to get nervous a lot and I kind of I stutter a lot. I definitely feel a lot better about it. I do feel a lot more comfortable and confident in a situation. I have a few plans to help with my career plan I want to do. One of my plans when I graduate is there's this school in Troy, and it's a special effects makeup school actually. So they do castings, they do prosthetic making, and I'm planning on checking that out. I'm excited to graduate and to go to college and get all the things I need to. And I do have a few things actually planned. I kind of have an idea on where I'm going to live at first. I have so many places I want to go. I want to go see so many things, and I'm very excited to do that.
With nearly 52,000 youth with disabilities in the Mid-Michigan area, your gift today assures we have the resources to help our next generation move up the ladder of independence.
Many people benefit from peer support. This program offers an opportunity for individuals to connect with each other, to share insight and experiences about disability.
I think it's important to relate to those people that have disabilities, you know. It's important for us to stick together.
Talking with other people that have disabilities, they understand more, they can relate more to the issues that we have, like whether it's mental and emotional or physical, we can all relate to some degree with like pretty much anything.
I enjoy the peer activities because it's getting to meet new people, getting to see lots of creative ideas, just being able to socialize with people.
We create safe spaces where people can talk, share their frustrations and obstacles about how to overcome them.
I think we relate to each other more. I really think we relate to each other on a whole different level.
I've gotten to know some people well enough that I've become good friends with them.
We find that it's hard to trust people. And in those groups, we don't have to worry about being judged for our disability, whether we stutter or repeat ourselves 10 times. It doesn't matter because we all have some sort of issue, whether it's mental or physical or emotional. The peers their faces when they see me, they light right up. And that gives me a joy that nothing else can. It's like for some reason I'm important to them. You know, even though I have a disability, I'm still important to other people that have whatever issues they have. I'm somebody that they can trust.
Peers build each other up. Our mentors are trained to empower.
One of my mottos in life is impossible is nothing. As long as you have an open mind, you can accomplish anything you want to accomplish. And that's one of the reasons why I've gotten so far in life as I have today, is because I've had that motto and I don't let anything stop me. I just recently got my driver's permit. So all I've needed all this time was my license. So I'm so much closer, and I can feel it. The excitement is just nuts.
It's given me a sense of worth to do my own things and get my own things done, you know, instead of, again, sitting in front of the TV.
We offer one-on-one connections or group services so that people can build their confidence and take that out into the community. This was truer than ever during the last year, when people were experiencing isolation and a lot of unknowns.
People need people in this time of sadness that we're experiencing.
Peer group has been one of the best things about this whole shutdown, is because even though everything else is still shut down, we have Zoom to bring us all together.
Helping me not dwell on the negative, keeps us out of our own head, I guess. We don't dwell on negative things because we're communicating with each other.
They trust me. I look forward to talking with them just as much as they look forward to talking with me. A lot of the times I do get down and depressed, and that's the one thing that pushes me to get up every morning is, you know, a certain few that I know look forward to hanging out.
We're getting new experiences. We're getting new ideas for activities.
We have worked to build a sense of community where one didn't exist before. We have built up virtual opportunities that anyone can access. We work hard to keep people connected.
I think that it's just amazing that, you know, they have the peer mentor program.
I value the friendships that I've made.
It gives me something to do. I feel like I have a purpose because I mean something to the other peers, and that gives me a satisfaction in my heart that like nothing else can. I always have advocated for people with disabilities because I've got issues of my own. And I think that when I advocate for them or when I help them, you know, feel better about their day when they're having a bad day, it really makes me feel good.
I've met some pretty awesome people, and I wouldn't be able to meet awesome people if it wasn't for peer activities, again, over Zoom, because of the way that the world is now.
Movies on Monday, lunch on Tuesday. Bingo is an absolute blast. Like, how can you not get on for bingo? That's like the best. That's like my highlight of the week. We all start laughing, and we all it's like medicine for the soul. We all feel better.
Come join us. We have a lot of fun.
Half of all adults have a chronic condition. Chronic diseases affect approximately 133 million Americans, representing more than 40% of the total population. By 2030, that number is projected to grow to an estimated 157 million, with 81 million people in our country having multiple conditions. Over 25 million Americans have disabilities that make traveling outside the home difficult. They account for over 8% of the population. Over 13 million of these Americans, more than half, are adults age 18 to 64, the age group with typically high labor force participation. Over 11 million Americans age 65 and older also have travel-limiting disabilities. Over 3 million Americans with travel-limiting disabilities do not leave their homes because of their disability. Even before the pandemic began, social isolation and loneliness were widespread among older adults. Approximately 1/4 of community-dwelling Americans age 65 and older were considered to be socially isolated, and 43% of adults age 60 and older reported feeling lonely. Helping folks connect makes all the difference.
By donating today, you assure that people with disabilities have the opportunity to build connections, even when they have compromised health conditions or lack access to transportation. We all know someone who had a hard time during the pandemic. Peer supports help prevent social isolation. By supporting Disability Network, you help someone with a newly acquired disability to gain confidence.
Disability Network in Mid-Michigan is a social justice ally. We work for and with people with disabilities to make changes that improve lives and opportunities for everyone. Last year, we focused on people with disabilities being counted in the census. We worked to prohibit healthcare providers from rationing medical care as a response to the COVID pandemic. We continue to advocate at local, state, and federal levels regarding legislation and policies that impact opportunities for people with disabilities and the freedoms that they enjoy. Our 30 years of advocacy have made an impact in education, transportation, healthcare, recreation, employment, and so much more.
It's important for people with disabilities to remember to advocate, but know how to advocate, because I think some people with disabilities still have the mindset of society needs to serve us and needs to provide us these things. But I'm not asking for accessible communities because I want to be served. I'm asking for accessible communities because I want to serve and be part of the community, just like those without physical disabilities. I have a YouTube channel where I talk about my daily life as someone with a physical disability, and I talk about things that I enjoy: makeup, fashion, beauty, all that kind of stuff. But again, I also talk deeply about the challenges that somebody with a physical disability faces. And as a society, we're so focused on advocating for those in minority groups, but nobody talks about disability on a mainstream level. Like other minority groups. And not to say that we're less or more important, because we're not, but we are a minority group, but people don't think of it like that. Oftentimes they think of it as, they don't think of it at all. And so by sharing my personal experiences, I hope to make people realize the challenges that I face every day, not to feel sorry for me, but to rather put that idea of disability in their head, so that they can help advocate for me during their day-to-day life, so that I can be an integral part of community as well. One thing that I wish everybody knew about disability is that it is not sad, and it is not something for people to feel sorry for. It is not something for them to feel the need to serve us for. Again, as I mentioned earlier, all I could ever ask for in the world is to be given the tools to be an integral part of community, just like anybody without a physical disability. I have goals, I have aspirations, I have things that I want to accomplish in the world, just like anybody without a physical disability. And it's not because I have a disability that I want to do these great things, it's because I'm a human being. We all want to contribute something to this world. And having a disability has been the biggest blessing in my life that I could ever ask for. People always wonder, like, wow, you're so happy, like, despite the challenges that you face. And I don't know any different. This is the only life that I know. This is the only perspective that I know and will ever know. And so I live each day just like anybody without a physical disability, working towards these goals and aspirations, and enjoying life for the gift that it is. And it truly has been the biggest blessing in my life with the opportunities that I've been given because of my disability, the people that I've gotten the chance to meet and connect with because of my disability is the greatest gift. And I couldn't imagine my life any different. So I think it's important to realize that disability is always going to be a part of our life, is always going to be part of the world. Whether disability is acquired at birth or because of an injury, there are plenty of people that have a physical disability as a result of an injury. And they never planned that in their life. They never thought that as a possibility. They never pictured themselves as somebody with a physical disability. And so, not to say this in a negative way, but you never know if it could be you. And then suddenly these challenges that I've faced since birth become their new reality. And then all of a sudden, as a result of this injury, they find these issues that they've never thought of. All of a sudden, they find them as important. And as my mom mentioned too, as people get older, disability becomes a part of their life. The only difference between theirs and ours is we've had this our whole life. And this is a new chapter in their life. They don't know how to navigate the world as somebody with a physical disability because they are used to having the same physical abilities that they had. They're not used to having the barriers that they have now. Nothing I advocate for is anything special. I don't want anything special from the government. I don't want anything special from my community. I want the tools and the access to be able to give back just as much with anybody without a physical disability. I don't want to be treated special. I don't want people to think that I'm more important or more special because everybody has something that they deal with. Whether it's disability, health condition, financial problems, relationship problems, it doesn't matter. The only difference between the challenges that I face every single day and maybe somebody else's is that mine just happens to be more visible. But every single person you ever come in contact with has a story and something that they deal with every single day. As I prepare to move out on my own, I know that centers like the Disability Network of Mid-Michigan are going to be a vital part of me being able to be independent and making sure that I know of resources that I can utilize to be the most independent that I can because there is no disability how-to. As I prepare this new chapter in my life, it will be a huge vital resource for me, and I think that's why it's so important for the Centers, the Disability Network, to keep going and to keep doing the work that they're doing to help people like me transition into a more independent life.
What still needs to change? Systems and communities are still not accessible to everyone. In the next 10 years, the average age of our population will increase by 15% because we are living longer with better medical advancements. That means even if you don't have an accessibility need today, you or a loved one will at some point. By supporting Disability Network's advocacy efforts today, you assure people with disabilities have a voice at the table in the future.
At Disability Network, our focus has always been on empowering people. We believe you know what's best for your life, and that's true for people with disabilities too. Choosing where you want to live, work, play, and with whom you spend your time are all decisions many people take for granted. We work to make sure individuals have the opportunity and the support to define for themselves what a good life looks like.
I wouldn't let Monica do anything. I was too scared to. When Tara came into our lives, she changed everything. She's got me, Monica's doing laundry now. She helps pull the towels. She's helping me cook. She's helping me bake. We baked a cake the other day.
I like Disability Network because it helps me more independent. Don't have to rely on anybody. I learn how to cook, budgeting my money, shopping.
And we got her in a TNT program, and that turned out to be such an excellent program for her So we went ahead and I went ahead and signed papers for her to start going there, and they take her out to the restaurants. She goes out planting flowers. She shops. She cooks there. She's learning how to communicate with kids. Before, she'd never talk like she is now. She's always too scared to.
I know how to talk to people. Made a lot of friends. Doing things I've never done before.
You guys got an excellent team.
Tara's been a great person to work with.
Tara's really good about calling me back whenever I call her for anything. She's been excellent with us. I never want to lose Tara.
I communicate better with my mom. We do so much together now.
I'm proud of her. I'm so proud of her. I'm proud of Tara too for not giving up on me. Monica still's got hope with me.
It's a good program. I'm proud to have Jennifer and Melissa and Tara in my life.
I want to thank you guys so much for giving Monica all the education that she needed and being more independent. It's been an awesome change.
Your gift today assures that every person we support has real choices and is supported to live where they choose, to work, to have families, and to be part of the community. We are community. You can help build community by supporting Disability Network today.
There were more people who died from COVID-19 living in congregate care settings than in any other type of living environment. We know that people are generally happier living in their own homes and communities. Most individuals living in such settings don't know what resources are available to help them get out and access the supports they need. Disability Network's Nursing Facility Transition Program helps find those resources. We help find people affordable and accessible housing. Most importantly, we help people get their life back.
11% of people in Michigan currently live in congregate care settings, and yet 76% would prefer to live in their own home in their own community. We know that this saves money, improves quality of life, and extends the lifespan. Disability Network can support people to regain their independence, but only with your support.
Recent reports suggest that 20% rise in deaths from Alzheimer's disease and dementia over this past summer may be connected, at least in part, to social isolation. Some states have even begun listing social isolation or failure to thrive as a cause or contributing factor on the death certificates of some long-term care residents. Connecting people with community, helping people improve their quality of life, assisting people to acquire those safe, accessible, and affordable housing is at the core of what we do.
I was grateful that, I got in touch with the Disability Network. They've done a lot of things for me, a lot of resources they helped me with, and they were with me every step of the way. So I knew I had somebody in my corner.
Laura's first goal was to find housing, and then after that her next goal was to be able to get those items to be able to live independently, furniture and dishes and other household items, along with groceries.
I'd like to have a car to go out and do things instead of riding the bus.
Her next goal, of course, is to be able to purchase a car.
I want to thank Disability Network for helping me with my independence and all the wonderful people that I've met through them.
For over 30 years, Disability Network of Mid-Michigan has been sharing stories of people with disabilities transitioning to their own homes, finding gainful employment, reaching their goals, empowering their lives, and taking active roles in their communities. But there are still more stories to tell. With the continued support of our community partners and people like you, we will go on telling these stories for the next 30 years and beyond. From all of us at Disability Network, thank you for helping us create communities that are accessible and inclusive for everyone.
Thank you, Kelly. We've spent the last hour hearing about all the great things you and your staff at Disability Network are doing for people with disabilities. You mentioned there are more stories to tell.
And that is where all of us have an opportunity tonight. We have an opportunity to help Disability Network continue its great work and to continue telling those stories. Your $2,500 donation transitions one person from a nursing facility back into their own home.
Your $1,000 donation helps someone receive 1 month of peer support and mentoring services.
Your $500 donation helps a student receive 3 weeks of one-on-one skill development services.
No matter the amount, it all makes a difference. Your support and generosity help us continue building accessible and inclusive communities for everyone. In a few moments, we'll be going live on Zoom with special guest Jerry O'Donnell from ESPN 100.9 FM for a live auction.
There is also a virtual casino starting at 7:30. It's all part of this virtual Feathers and Fedoras experience. So let's bid on those auction items, let's find Lady Luck at those casino tables, and be sure to donate online at dnmm.org/donate. Most importantly, let's have fun and let's make a difference. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks to a generous grant from the Herbert H. and Grace A. Dow Foundation, all donations to Feathers and Fedoras will be matched up to $50,000. Donate online at dnmm.org/donate or text DNMM to 56651 to give today. We want to thank all of the sponsors for making tonight a success.